Breaking news. The indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, has warned the Southeast governors against allocating lands to Herders Group, the Mieti Alakatu Breeders Association of Nigeria, MAGBAN, for grazing reserves. IPOB, in a statement issued on Saturday by its media and publicity secretary, Emma Powerful, warned that allocating lands for grazing reserves under the guise of Ruga to Herders Group would endanger the safety and the security of Southeast people. IPOB has called on Southern and Middle Belt governors to refuse the Mieti Allah Cattle Breeders Association's request for grazing reserves, questioning why the Fulani claiming to be Nigerians seek land in other states instead of using their own ancestral lands. It warned that any governor conceding to the demands of Magban risks jeopardizing the future generations of regions to mass slaughter and displacement. IPOB also said that it rejects the Livestock Ministry's Convert Ruga initiative, saying that the vast Sambisa forest was a suitable alternative for Fulani settlements, emphasizing resistance to what it described as Fulani expansionism and preservation of ancestral lands. IPOB warned against any attempt to alter demographics or size territory of the Southeast region. So guys, IPOB has called on the Southern governors, especially those in the Southeast, to protect future generations of the region by rejecting the Mieti Allah Grazing Reserve's demand, stressing that the Southeast will remain off limits to any form of Fulani settlement or grazing reserves, because it seems that they are gradually trying to pave their way into the Southeast region. The Sambisa forest is vast enough for them. It's quite suitable for them to graze their cattle. So why are they wanting to come into the Southeast region? So these Southeastern governors have been warned against allocating grazing reserves to these Mieti Allah cattle people to stop them from entering the Southeast region. The IPOB also have rejected the new livestock ministry created by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, where the government proposed the Ministry of Livestock and Development, claiming that this livestock development will solve the crisis between farmer and herders. So they've made a statement against this, noting that no governor in the land should mortgage the safety and the security of Biafrans and the people of the Southeast region by allocating land to terrorists for Ruga in disguise. They've asked other governors to reject this demand for grazing reserves by the Fulani Mieti Allah terrorist organization in Nigeria. Since the Fulanis claim to be Nigerians, then why would they want grazing reserves from other states? Why not go to their states and request grazing reserves from their states instead of utilizing their own ancestral lands for grazing reserves? They go around looking for other people's lands to soil, looking for other people's land to destroy. Any governor in Nigeria that wills to these selfish demands from these terrorists has mortgaged the future of their generations yet to come. Because we've seen the mass slaughtering, we've seen the mass killing of people whom these Fulani herders have crossed paths with. So any governor that would open his or her arms and welcome these persons will surely receive consequences for his or her actions. Any state or clan that allocates lands to Fulani people, they have sold their state for invasion and displacement, because these terrorists will not hesitate to launch attacks to take over their states. People must learn from history, because history is always repeating itself, especially in Nigeria. And according to history, these Fulanis come to people's lands, they kill them, take over their lands, and that's how they've been doing. Almost all northern political leaders have no place to call their own, but then they support all these Fulanis. Now, the same deception and voodoo the Fulani used on the Hausas in the 18th century is what they are using on the political elite in the rest of Nigeria. And if this voodoo works on other Nigerians, it should not work on the Biafrans. It should not work in the southeast region. The indigenous people of Biafra have said no to those that want to bring about the Fulanization agenda in the southeast region. They've said no to southeast governors and southeastern politicians, to the Fulani's dangerous moves to grab people's lands. The people should also rise up and defend their ancestral lands from being taken right under their nose by this Fulani. IPOB have called out to the people of the southeast region to know that the voodoo from the Fulanis will not work. So, it's best for those governors to do away with any thought of bringing in the Fulanis to reside in their lands, because the battle line has been drawn and IPOB ESN would never ever allow Fulanis to occupy or be in possession of any inch of Biafra land. Now, they talked about President Tinubu, who created the livestock ministry, and noted that that livestock ministry Tinubu created was meant for the Fulanis, to settle them in order to allocate grazing reserves to them. That livestock ministry is a code name for Ruga, and such Ruga format will not be tolerated. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, for all he cares, can go ahead and allocate the Sambisa forest as a grazing reserve to Miati Allah. The massive forest is more than enough for grazing reserves and settlements for them. So, why are they trying to take the lives of people? These Fulani terrorists that have been going around destroying people. Fulani terrorists have been allowed to roam around with their cars, with their cattle in the southeasterners' land. And now the IPOB have said they don't want such a thing and will never ever tolerate any Fulani person with their cattle in the southeast region. So my country people, the IPOB have spoken. Guys, I'm dropping here. Kindly share your thoughts on this in the comments section. Thank you.